Hello and welcome to Larissa's Kitchen. Tonight I'm making chicken parm subs. Now that's actually 3 meals in one and would work out great if you had leftover pasta sauce, leftover fried chicken tenders, or both. Since I'm going to be making this entire meal from scratch, I have to start with what cooks the longest, and for us that's the pasta sauce. Now that's going to simmer for 3 hours, so let's take a look at what we're going to need. Before we get started with this ingredients list, I know you're wondering just what the hell this is. No, it's not frozen grape juice, it's actually frozen red wine. I keep wine in my freezer from bottles that I couldn't finish, bottles that I didn't like, or bottles that I specifically bought to cook with. I just portion it out into these 1-cup freezer cups and leave it in there. It's no longer suitable for drinking though. For the rest of the ingredients, we're going to need a 28-ounce can of San Marzanos in their liquid, a 28-ounce can of tomato puree, a large Spanish onion, 3 to 4 cloves of garlic, and 3 to 4 shallots. These are our spices, and this is a half of a cup of sugar, and no, the cat didn't get into it. That's a 3 to 4 inch ribbon of anchovie paste. Along with our wine, we're going to need 2 tablespoons of hot sauce and some salt and pepper for seasoning. I have my very large sauteuse on over medium-high heat. Now this is non-stick. I've got about 3 tablespoons of canola oil in here, and we're just going to sweat the onions down. This does not need to be hot when you put it in. The onions need to sweat the longest. We're going to sweat them for about 2 minutes and then add the shallots. Those are going to sweat for about 2 minutes and then we're going to add the garlic. We don't want any of this stuff to brown. These are just barely starting to turn translucent, so we're going to go ahead and add the shallots. Alright, that's been about another minute and a half. It's time to add the garlic. Okay, this is very fragrant. It's been sauteing for about 5 minutes. We're going to add the spices and the salt and pepper. It's about a half teaspoon of salt. And about 1/8 of a teaspoon of pepper. We're just going to give these spices a quick whirl around the pan. We're going to heat them up and start them cooking. We don't want to boil them in the liquid. Okay, that's been about 30 seconds, so we can now add our tomatoes. I've cut most of these San Marzanos in half. With this long simmering time, they will break up. Once this comes up to temperature, we're going to add the sugar, the wine, and the hot sauce. This is starting to warm up, so we can add the rest of our ingredients. Once this begins to simmer, we'll cover it and let it simmer for 3 hours, stirring every half an hour or so. These chicken tenders have been cleaned, breaded, and fried. If you need a little more instruction, the link for crusted chicken tenders is in the description. This is 2 French baguettes that I've cut in half and then sliced down the middle. They have butter and roasted garlic on both sides. I put them back together and then they went in a 400-degree oven for 5 minutes, just to warm up a little bit. We'll be taking the tops off and building our sandwiches. This is sliced fresh mozzarella. These are going back in that 400-degree oven without their tops until the cheese melts. Now we're not broiling them because we want to make sure that everything heats through. getting ready to taste these chicken parm subs, messy would be an understatement. Delicious would not. See if I can get my mouth around this. Breaded and fried. Now if you need a little more description for this, these chicken tenders have been cleaned. If you need a little more instruction, the link for breaded chicken tenders, crusted chicken tenders. If you need a little more instruction, the description for these oh my